Welcome to Pillow Talking Podcast. It's your
Hello,
boy
guys.
JT,
And NeNe.
and yeah, it's another week of. I guess we're still in the pandemic. I don't know anymore, guys. Just to be honest, like is this our new normal? Who knows?
Right.
But let's just get right to into it. If you're watching the video, you might see me with this. What is this called? A bonnet.
Yes.
I'm
Good
wearing this
job.
bonnet until one of you guys sends me the link to a durag company or something like that. Like I need a silk durag because like my edges be looking bad on camera. So I need something to cover them up. So somebody send me or tag a durag company who does like the cool durags. I want my own durag. I'm gonna wear it all the time. But yeah,
So, like, who does custom durags?
no, not be
Oh.
custom, but you know, like those nice silk looking ones and like the
Yeah.
different colors. I want like a velvet. I don't know.
So
I want
extra.
something that looks cool.
So extra.
Yeah. So that's just to dress it. I have a pink do rag on right now. Okay. Love it. But yeah, so let's just get to it, man. Something crazy that I saw on social media. I don't know if you saw it, but there's this video that's been going viral. It's kind of relationship based, but it's a video of a guy sitting in the car with his mom in the front seat,
Oh, yes.
and the girl wife. I don't know if it was a wife. I don't want to say wife. Let me pull up the video.
I don't, maybe his girlfriend? I don't know. But then again, that was her car, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was her car, but the situation was really wild,
And unnecessary.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. It
It
was
was just-
unnecessary.
it
So look,
was
this is the
unnecessary.
video. It's only a minute long. So
Oh,
yeah, so it's his wife. So it is technically her vehicle if they're married. Like, you know, we share
Yeah.
everything.
And from understanding, that was actually her car, though.
Yeah, but okay,
Yeah, 'cause-
see, okay, so I'm gonna stop the video because like she started cursing out the old lady. I don't really like that type of stuff. I
Yeah.
just felt like you said, this was unnecessary
It was-
because, and I saw somebody comment this. They were like, my mom would have gotten in the back seat and my wife would be like, no, stay. Because normal,
Yeah, that's
sensible
normal
people,
what people
like my
do.
parents,
We have done
like
that.
if this was my mama, she would be arguing with Dominique to get the front seat.
Yeah.
Dominique would be
And I was
arguing for
saying,
her
no,
to stay.
it's okay.
Like this whole situation
Yeah.
kind of shows me that they might have some underlying issues.
Yeah,
in
they
their
already
marriage
looked. They were they were
where the
not
wife
cool.
feels underappreciated and not respected as a wife already, and that was just like the tipping point. Like
Right.
you're not even gonna respect me enough to make room in my own vehicle.
Right. It also seems like the mom and the wife doesn't have
The
that
best
pretty good.
relationship,
Yeah.
and also seems like he's really, really close to his mother still,
Yeah.
which is okay. But I mean, if you want to be honest, once you get married, I'm a
That's-
biggest mama's boy.
Yeah.
But once I got married, but it's different because my mama kind of understands. Like she's
Yeah.
not a crazy.
She's not overbearing.
Yeah, so
like that.
so it was different for me because my mom understood. Okay, my son's getting married.
Yeah.
His wife is his new priority. Some moms never understand
They don't.
that. Like they will do stuff like this. They will fight to remain the number one priority in their
Right.
child's
Like
life.
they literally will be jealous, and it's
Yeah,
almost like
and-
wow.
And it's like how can you have a successful or a healthy relationship when it's out of line?
yeah.
Like I see it all the time. Even it's like post like who comes first, your wife or your
yeah.
kids?
I do not like that.
How
stuff.
can you put anybody over the person that you're supposed to be connected as one with?
Right. Because
Like
that's you.
when you get married and you stand before the people or the judge or the pastor, you guys are connected as one.
right.
Legally, like by law,
You are one
spiritually,
entity.
y'all having, exclusive relationship. Like, so how can you put anybody above your spouse?
yeah.
Like, obviously, if you're just dating, it's different. But this was a situation where they're married, and mom looks like she's taking precedence over the wife.
Yeah,
And
and
to
she
me,
is like she likes it. Like
yeah, it looked.
that's
That's
just
what I'm
what we
saying.
do.
Like
I
from
don't.
the video, and I don't want to judge people
Yeah.
just off one video out of context, because it could be fake. Like this whole thing,
Right, it could be
it could be
staged, but
staged,
that really does happen though.
right? But
Like
it
for
happens, and
people,
that's why I
yeah,
wanted to talk about it because I've seen overbearing mothers,
yeah,
even after their sons get married, still try to act like I come before your wife,
right,
or
and
I need to
purposely
know,
have a bad relationship with the wife to run her
right?
off and stuff like that. And
Like parents, I've seen parents literally cause like division and
yeah,
divorces because they're such an important part of your life,
yep,
especially if that's all you had. That's like every son wants their mom to just be proud and be happy.
right,
So I know it's tough when you have a mom that you not gonna disrespect, and then when somebody you love is disrespecting your mom, and now it's your wife. Like they're like, what do I do?
right,
Like I saw doing the video. He like telling his mama to be quiet, telling his wife to be quiet. It's a lot. So I feel like that situation, like you said, was unnecessary because as functioning adults, you should be able to understand, okay, I'm gonna respect you as his mother, and mom should respect her as a wife.
right,
And if they would both have a mutual respect, like you said, it would have been that situation where they're fighting to do for the other one.
right,
Like, mom, no, girl, come get in this front seat.
right,
This is your car. And then daughter be like, oh no, man, you need more room. I can stay. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That is what a healthy like interaction looks like.
right.
It doesn't look like that video. That video shows me that they have some type of like Ayana fix my life issue. Like
Yeah,
anytime you can cuss out somebody's mom, I know that's your husband, but like that's still his mother.
right,
So that tells me that you're willing to hurt him because that's gonna hurt him. Like if somebody cursing out his mama, that's gonna hurt if you're close to her.
yeah.
So it just tells me that y'all have issues. Like
Clearly issues.
she
Yeah,
probably feels based off the stuff she was saying that because she kept saying like you go do this to me again, like you always like. She probably feels undervalued, underappreciated,
yeah.
less than a wife. And then now, how do you recover that relationship without counseling? Without y'all got to talk that out.
I really feel like it's seriously gonna be, honestly, to me, if I feel like it's the man's job to establish the foundation with it,
Yeah,
between mom and,
it's not the wife,
because I don't,
it's not
yeah,
your responsibility to tell my parents their boundaries.
yeah,
And it's not my responsibility to tell your parents
yeah, right,
the boundaries. Like that is something that I feel like goes. It's one of those things you should handle before you say I do.
yeah,
Like you shouldn't get married then figure out how the family dynamic will work with your
Right.
in-laws. That should be a conversation y'all have at dinner, or it should just be an understood
Right.
thing before you get married. Like this is how we're gonna operate with our in-laws.
Right.
This is like for us, we have a thing where we got family all over, so we cycle through holidays. Like so, for example, like last year Thanksgiving we went to see my sister in Dallas. So this year Thanksgiving will be with her family,
Right.
and Christmas will be with mine. We kind of we had this understanding going in. So we know we can still balance our families because you don't get married and isolate from family. I feel like
Right.
family is important. You have to stay with your foundation. Like you have to.
You have to stay
I
connected
think it's
with your
weird when
family.
people get married and isolate from their family. Like that's a sign of I don't want to use the word toxic because
And
it's overused.
I don't want to say manipulation, but
It can seem a little weird that
yeah,
if somebody is trying to
That's-
pull you away from your family, unless
that's sneaky.
unless they see something that is detrimental to your well-being, like it's a bad relationship or they're using you or something like that, that's different. But I'm talking about just the normal family life. If your
Like
spouse
holidays and
is
all
trying
that.
to say we never go and see your in-laws,
That's a problem.
to me that's a problem. I'm just
From
gonna throw it
personal
out.
experience, that's a problem for me.
Right. I mean, you that's a telltale sign that if somebody's trying to keep you away from
That's
people
what
who
I'm
gonna
saying. Yeah, like
tell you right from wrong and hold you accountable, like
controlling, manipulation.
that's-
That's a whole nother story. But that's
Right.
the problem for me. Like, cause you should, because you love your family, you love your spouse. You should always want you don't have to love what they love, but I mean, you want to see them happy.
You
Why
want to
wouldn't
see
I
them
want?
happy. Like,
Yeah,
why
like
would I
try to get in between my partner and their
yeah,
family?
yeah,
Like
that's weird.
because I feel like for me,
Especially if you're dating, let me just give y'all some free game. If you're dating, like just boyfriend and girlfriend, and somebody's trying to keep you away from your family, or they get jealous when you go by your family or choose
hang
your
with
family
them,
over them,
oh my gosh,
that to me is a insecurity issue. That's like control issue. Like they want to be the center of all your attention. Like for example, let's say you're dating somebody and you want to spend the holidays with your family and not them, or maybe you don't invite them or something like whatever the situation. But I've seen people who the person they're with if keep them away from family events and they're just dating. Like you'll go to Thanksgiving, hey, where what you call it? Oh, she with her boyfriend. What?
Right.
Why she not here? Like we do this every year. Like they not
like like if y'all been dating for more than 1 year and you haven't been to none of your family events, that's a problem.
That's a problem. Like if you have completely isolated away from the people that literally raised you and care for you and love you, to me that's a big sign that this could be a control freak, one of those crazy fatal attraction type things. Like I'm not saying it's always gonna be that, but that's a sign.
But it is a sign, y'all. At least one of those things. Like it's a sign for real. So because like for me, I think about like me as a partner. I think I go back to me. Like I wouldn't want my partner keeping me from my family. If I'm not good with my family, he knows. Like. All right, I'll tell him like I'm not happy. If me and my family going through, I'm not happy.
If family is big to you, I can always tell when something's going on with family because it's gonna affect you. Like if your parents not, God forbid they're sick, or let's say they're going through something, that affects you. If if your sibling not talking to you, or he going through, or she going through, a cousin going through something, that affects you because we are, especially as Black people, families are very important to us. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's not for other people, but for us, we grow up as a family. We do as a family. We
don't leave our family out hanging. Like,
and family is not. Literally, especially down South Louisiana, family extends past just blood. It's people that group friends. Like, if you're dating somebody and they're like taking you away from authentic friendships, that's saying
not good.
I don't want to say it happens 100% of the time, but if, for example, Dominique have 2 or 3 like best friends, you would say, if I were to be like, you can't talk to them, you can't be texting them, you can't check on them, you can't go by them, to like, how can I be saying I want her to be happy and love her and then take away something that she loves and finds happiness in?
Right. And that's always been there. Like
I never understand it. I never understand how people allow new relationships to take them away from friendships that they've had their entire life. Like, I don't know. That's just weird for me. So that's pretty much all I have for that one.
Yeah, that was too much.
That video was just too much, and I don't like to see anybody be disrespected. I don't like to see people act out of character because I'm sure that girl is not always like that. She probably just had enough, and that was like the last straw. So I don't like stuff like that. But I saw it,
and it was malicious on the mama part because
I could just see how she was sitting. Like, my mama would
never do that. I can't.
The way that woman was sitting in that car, like not moving out her car.
I do not care.
It would never happen.
Then she was like, "No." She was like, "Are you gonna move?"
Come on, man.
No.
Oh my God.
No, because that would have flipped. That probably flipped the switch right there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, she probably felt the type of way right after you said no. Like,
and that's what I'm saying. It's up to the man to establish that. Look, okay, because if I go to JT's mom, let's say, and be like, oh, hey, I don't want you to talk to me like this. Whereas if he goes and be like, hey, mom, this is, this wasn't working for us last time, she'll listen to me
before
she listens to me. Like
me. If I go, that's what I'm saying. It's all about approach and setting boundaries, like with your relationship, like I tell my friends how to respect my relationship. She don't have to go tell my friends like, oh, JT not doing that or JT not doing this, because I set the boundary.
Right.
And if she has a problem, she'll come to me first.
Right.
Like she's not gonna just go tell them or go do this. Like she will tell me like, get that right. Like get your people, or I don't appreciate that, or I'm whatever it is. Or and for example, like it's some of her friends that I didn't appreciate her hanging with. You think I wouldn't told them? Nope. I told her like, look, you got some friends like or associates or whatever that they not doing that. So I don't like when you always talk to them because you start acting negative and stuff. That's what I told her. I just was honest. Like certain people, if you keep talking and fighting with them and stuff, you become that. So I'm like, you got to watch who you talk to, babe. And she understood. It wasn't no falling out. I'm not gonna fall out. I would never fall out with my wife over somebody else. Like my wife be like, don't talk to this person. Done.
And it's not like controlling. Okay, that's not what we do. But it literally has to be a legit reason of, it's more about like, I care about your soul. I care about your well-being. Like I care about who's around you, pouring into you. So
she tell me something, that's not good. Respect it because for once she don't do it. Ever. And I don't do it. So if we say it's something serious, or at least it's worth having a conversation about.
Right. And setting boundaries.
Right. Yeah. I mean, did you see anything or?
No, just about the Karen cool girl.
Yeah. So we can talk about it. I mean, let's just talk about it. I mean, I feel like we don't have to say places but anyway, there was this. If you're on Twitter, you might have saw it, but there was this girl who posted a story about basically traveling 8 hours to meet somebody that she met through the internet. The crazy part is the guy happened to live in our area in Louisiana. So she drove 8 hours to South Louisiana to meet this guy, and I think she ended up getting stood up and all that. But the crazy part is, like, how is this still happening in 2020? Yeah. Like, how are people being convinced to travel?
And I think it was a blind date.
To have a date with somebody. Like, how does this happen
how
in 2020?
Does it happen? For real?
And it was and she was so happy. She
did the whole thing.
Did the whole video of her traveling 8 hours.
Smiling, and that's so sad.
See a guy. Like, how does that happen?
That you haven't met before, y'all.
Is the dating world that bad where you will drive 8 hours for a first date? Like, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, what if you have a great first date, or is that
like you don't think of the pros and the cons? Like, I'll be like, no, what if I drive all the way over there and I get stood up? Or
8 hours? What if it's a bad date?
Or he not cute? Or like they're not attractive?
Saying, like 8 hours, you better be making money from it. Like, that's a lot.
I am not driving to work for 8 hours.
Bro, do you know how long an 8 hour drive is?
No.
Like, that's not just something.
Yes, I know. Mm-mm.
Like, when we drove to Atlanta, that was a 9 hour drive.
No.
So she drove one less hour.
No.
No,
for a person, for a man, she never met. So how does
that? Like, is that? I feel like dudes would do that, but I think I haven't. I don't know. When I watch shows like Catfish, I've seen it on both sides. I just feel like
it was just a gullible moment, honestly.
I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Like, you have to
What's the farthest you would drive to see somebody?
An hour?
Yeah, this will be an hour for me.
I'm not doing that too.
I'm not going over an hour for anybody.
No.
Because for one, if let's just say we did hit it off, I'm not gonna be driving back and forth all the time for a relationship. I'm sorry.
Right.
I can't do long distance.
I can't either. No. Mm-mm.
So that's dead. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Somebody literally drove 8 hours to get stood up.
What was killing me is the first date. Like,
it
was a blind date. So why would you do that on the first time?
The first time you risking all this.
And I'm also thinking, y'all, okay, like, you couldn't meet me halfway. Like, you couldn't, catch a bus somewhere.
That's what
and
I'm
then
saying.
I can meet you.
We couldn't meet there, at a center point or.
Yeah, like, you would really
a FaceTime.
Let me drive 8 hours.
We could do a Zoom date the first time. Like, it's so much stuff you could do before driving 8 hours.
Oh my God. I never That's what I'm saying. Like, I cannot believe she drove that. Like, most dudes would be like, nah, what you doing?
You
like,
need to be
don't
more,
do that.
I feel like there should be more invested in a relationship before you
do that.
Get in a car and drive 8 hours. Like, that is
Yeah.
ridiculous to me. Like, I'm
like
sorry.
That's like I literally only know people who, like, for instance, their husbands were in the military or something, and then they got a call and like, hey, I'm close, like,
yeah.
And then, like, I know people who do that. They haven't seen their husbands in a long time or whatever, or their boyfriends or whatever, and then they'll drive to wherever they finally got
right.
placed at. But no, like, that's long term. Like, that's, y'all got history, so you don't know that, man. I don't know you. I'm not about to drive 8 hours.
It's scary that people do that.
That is scary because, like,
you risk
who he is.
That's like, it's so much that could go wrong with an 8 hour trip.
You're right. In a different state, like,
you can get kidnapped, like, sex trafficked,
all kind of stuff.
It's 2020.
I was gonna say it's 2020.
Yeah, let's not do that no more, man. I don't know.
Yeah, we got. Let this be a lesson for everybody. Like, that's not okay.
Bro, I'm so happy that basketball is back. Like, I know you don't care, but I'm glad it's back.
Are they gonna have people in the stand or no?
No, it's the bubble. Like, literally.
That's so boring.
It's not. It's actually, as a true fan of basketball, it's actually better not to have the fans there. Like,
because it just be raw talent.
It feels like it feels like you're at a pickup game, and not a pickup, but it feels like you're at a gym. And it's like people just playing hard. Like, they're not worried about the crowd. They're not worried about impressing. It's literally like we
authentic,
going at it. Yeah. And it just feels more real almost. Like, 'cause, sometimes the NBA can feel like, oh, they're just going through the motions.
Yeah.
But, like, when it's just you and your teammates versus another team, it's just.
Yeah, you ain't got an audience. It's like so you just
right. You just playing to play. And it's crazy to see and hear. Because, like, you can hear them talking, and it just feels more real. Like, it feels less like entertainment, even though sports still is entertainment, but it feels more like direct competition.
Right.
So I'm excited to see how the rest of the season plays out. As far as football, I think they will be having fans, but just social distance. So it'll be like
less
people. I think they will skip seats for the most part. I mean, some of the open air domes and arenas will be different. Obviously, like in New Orleans, Superdome is really big already. So, but I mean, if you space it out, you can make it work. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, this week really has been too crazy. I mean, a lot of stuff happened last week. People getting shot in the foot.
Yeah.
We had
both feet,
which was sad.
Yeah.
But this week hasn't been too bad yet.
Right.
Hopefully we continue to progress, and I kind of feel bad.
Won't be so bad.
We still don't know what's going on with school.
Right.
I mean, they're trying to go back. It's a weird time right now. That's why I'm just saying you got to say, like, shout out to Corinne. Her new song "Pray." Like, everybody need to be praying. Like, you need to be.
We do
praying because you need a clear direction. You need so much going on, like, negative. You really need to clear your mind. Like, everybody should be praying. Like, everybody should be in a time up. Anytime you isolated, you should be looking for the next move. Like, even if God is not speaking, you should be seeing, like, how is God moving? Like, what's happening? Like, pay attention to stuff. Like, being ready for whatever comes. Like, so many people are not ready for stuff. Like, they just, whether it's financially or, like, for example, a lot of people are trying to get, we'll kind of end here, but a lot of people are trying to get, like, houses and stuff and whatever. But if you're not ready for a house, if you're not working on your credit doing this, let's say at the end of the year or early next year, the housing, kind of goes under, and, like, you can get houses for cheap, and you're not even ready.
Right.
You missed out because you weren't ready.
Yep. Because you weren't working towards that.
So while you are in this time, I stay busy.
Yeah,
launch
work
the
on
business,
something. Do something.
I mean, if you have ideas, dreams, start writing it down. Start getting it out there.
Because the worst thing that can happen is you fail. Okay.
And start over. Find something else. Like, and the crazy part is, even though people are not sure about what's going on is people who are thriving right now.
Yeah.
Businesses are blowing up.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at these cosmetic lines, clothing lines. I'm looking at gyms and online trainers. I'm looking at even comedians have found ways to do online shows. Artists are finally, still making music to carry us through. Like it's so much that you can do. Like just because we're in a pandemic, that don't stop. That might stop, the method might change, but our message and our purpose never changes. So you have to, even in this pandemic, you have to stay moving,
It's true. Stay in the know.
Like if you're home all the time, that's a perfect opportunity for you to work on that, whatever it is. Whatever you've been putting off, you got the time. If you're working from home, 9 times out of 10, you can finish your work quicker than you could at work.
Yeah.
So spend the other few hours of the day working on your vision, working on your plan. Everybody don't have to have a business, but everybody can.
Everybody got a plan or an idea.
Everybody has a talent or a skill or something about you that you can monetize and that could really, help you. So I don't know. I just wanted to end it off with encouragement, this week. Stay encouraged, guys. Stay prayed up and keep listening to our podcast. We got pillows coming.
Yeah, guys, we got merch.
Damn. Got merch. Had a typo on this one, but this is the first one. I'm always going to keep it. I'm never getting rid of it. This is the rough draft.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be coming soon and some other stuff. So, stay tuned. We got some more collabs coming too. So.
Yep. And videos soon.
Right. We got freaking babies in the bed.
Yeah. Our baby's here.
Baby's still here. But thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Good night.
Good night, guys.